Hello John, thank you very much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure.
Obviously Collins Bartholomew, quite a well-known name, but perhaps you could tell us what specifically brought you to DGI today.
Okay, Collins Bartholomew has been exhibiting at DGI I think since 2006. And the main reason we keep coming back year on year is because we have a good client base in the defence sector. So DGI is a great venue for us not only to meet our current customers but also to meet our potential customers, and then also to have a look around at what the rest of the industry is doing, and also to meet our industry colleagues.
So what exactly are you bringing to show today?
Okay, well basically as a map publisher everything that we do is held digitally. So in the context of defence, we license a lot of our digital mapping to defence agencies around the world so that they can use it for briefing map purposes, strategic planning purposes, or they keep it as an archive for when something happens around the world, a major catastrophe or a big event, so that they can quickly pull out a piece of data, create a map to show a minister or a senior member of the military or whatever.
So how has your product then developed over the last few years?
Our product's developed in a number of ways. We've always had a tradition in authoritative mapping, but the focus in more recent years has been about the verification of things like our international boundaries, our disputed territories and so on. So there's been quite a lot of focus in that. We have something called the Collins Newsroom service, which is very much that, about telling our customers what changes are likely to be happening in terms of international boundaries, disputed territories. We support that by telling our clients what sources we've used, and what things were called or are currently called, what they're going to be called. So there's been all kinds of changes.
So obviously people are talking a lot about big data and huge volumes and the level of detail increasing. What are the significant changes, particularly in the application of what you offer, that you're seeing?
People talk about, big data, if you want to call it that, more detailed data, and that's obviously something that people are always asking for. But that's not what we're about. If you want really detailed mapping, then you need to go to one of the sort of street mapping providers like Navtech or TeleAtlas. Our focus has always been on doing things really well and ensuring that it's accurate and authoritative. So in the context of what we do, we say we map the world, but we map it at a scale which we can manage with the resources we have in Scotland.
Now, obviously you were talking about the idea of satellite imagery being very different. So how does what Collins Bartholomew offer fit into the geospatial picture?
Okay, well, in context of, say, satellite imagery, then our data can be a great way of contextualizing satellite imagery. If you look at a piece of imagery, even at the highest resolution, it looks beautiful, but in some cases you wouldn't have a clue where it is. If you use that imagery in conjunction with, say, our data, then obviously it provides context through the place names, through the road alignments, through the coastline, etc.
Well, thank you very much for speaking with us. It's been fascinating, and I look forward to speaking to you later in the conference.
That's been great. Thanks.
Cheers.
Nice to meet you.
You too.